was $12,360,000 US.
I want to show the world a thing of beauty. I want to show the world an art form that maybe they haven't really digested yet.
The risks involved are big. I mean, a stone can break on the wheel.
I want to show them, out of a piece of rock, that we created true beauty. Diamonds are one of the greatest treasures known to man. They're found deep down in the earth. Millions of years, eruptions, volcanoes, movements in the earth push these diamonds out from the base of the earth. The rarity factor when you're mining for stones. The days go by, the weeks go by, the months go by, nothing. The money is poured into the ground. Mining deep into the ground and nothing comes out. One day you get lucky. You get really lucky. A stone appears. But a stone like this, once in how long?
Letseng Laterai, geographically and scenically the most spectacular diamond mining operation, lies 3,200 meters above sea level in the Kingdom of Lesotho.
603 really was something out of this world. I remember when my colleague phoned me. I was offside when the stone was recovered, and he said, "Are you standing or sitting down?" And I said, "I'm standing." He said, "Sit down." And I sat down, and he said, "Guess what? We just recovered the 603." And it was such a wonderful feeling.
The mine employs 460 people. 70% of its revenue is from diamonds bigger than 10 carat. About 90% of these are gem grade, with a significant proportion graded as D color, the highest color grade for a diamond.
As you look up there, you can see the water flow. There's a contact zone there between kimberlite and basalt. And more or less that area is where we found the 603 carat. On the contact zone, if you look closely and you film that area. Small surprise for the day we had that day.
With its large amount of sizable roughs, the Letseng mine has the highest dollar per carat ratio of any diamond mine in the world.
Lay dormant then for 25 years until I actually came back, looked at the situation and said, here is an arrested mine just waiting to be redeveloped. The Lesotho needs it, the people need it, the skills are here. A lot of the workers that I had here in those old days were still around, and they said to me, you've got to come back, you've got to reopen the mine.
About 100 tons of kimberlite rock is processed every hour in the mine. 2 carat diamond can be expected from this. So you can imagine the shock when this 603 carat diamond appeared, the 15th largest diamond ever to have been unearthed.
I first heard about the Lesotho Promise, I would say, about 3 days after it was mined. We got very excited, and we knew straight away it was something we wanted to be involved in, and eventually we were given the chance to see the stone. I flew over to Antwerp once it was purchased, and I saw the rough, and I thought it was the most exciting piece of rough I'd ever seen. At the same time, I realized it was very tricky, very complicated, and dangerous. Very dangerous. It almost had a black fossil floating in the center. And when I saw that fossil, it was much more severe than I had seen it on the screen. On the screen, it looked like a shadow. But in real life, this black fossil, I thought, my God, how are we going to cut around that?
And we are trying to make the depthness of the soaring plane as short as possible, and because of that we made here yesterday evening a carving site.
So one has to make sure that you get a value out of the stone, but at the same time you create a beautiful stone. They may never ever find another stone as large as this. We cut huge quantities of diamonds in our worldwide factories. In South Africa, I think we have the largest production of large polished diamonds, and with our purchases from mines generally, our production in Antwerp has to be the leading production also.
It took a dedicated team of 35 people, several months of in-depth analysis and examination, using the latest computer technology and expertise, before this stone was finally given the go-ahead for cutting and polishing.
Diamonds are just too valuable. We have to get it right immediately, and that's why we plan so long. And that's why we hold our heart in our hands before making the first approach with our tools, which are not modern tools. They're very old-fashioned tools, they're hand tools. The only technology here is the computer. After the computer, we go back to the bench and we use the same sort of tools as we've been using for generations. And we start the process, the long process, and we start to walk that road.
When I got to hold the stone in my hands for the first time, I suddenly felt stress coming up. I've heard so much about the stone, and looking into it, I said to myself, what is that? I just couldn't see the potential nice stones in that piece of rough. That stone full of black spots, inclusions and impurities. I thought this might not work.
Johnny saw the stone, he gave me a full description, and I had a series of emails and photographs of the stone at every angle you can imagine. And I got very, very excited by the rough from those pictures. And we discussed the potential yield, we discussed the color, and Johnny with the eyes. And I had a lot of pleasure out of seeing it on the screen. I just couldn't get to Antwerp to see it. And the final decision was made basically by seeing this on the screen.
Now the problem of this solution is the VS. There was one VS in the stone, and it's situated there on the screen.
And you could not avoid that.
We could not avoid that, yes, and the table is touching that VS. Without that VS we could certainly make a bigger usher cut. We have here a nice emerald of 28 carats. Yes. This is completely black piece that we will cut away.
Yes. And then you'll see if you have something inside.
Yes.
There was no possibility here to make a pair, right? Between 75 and 50 to make 260s or something?
No.
To make a couple. To make a couple.
Because there is one big crack inside the stone, and that divides the stone in two pieces, and one piece is bigger than the other one, and we cannot change that. That's just the nature of this stone.
Mr. Graff likes a hard shape, and he needs a hard shape.
The next day, Johnny discussed the different options with Mr. Graff, and the final decisions were taken.
So we decided to go for option number 3, which is the 80 carat pearl shape, more or less 80, then the 40 to 45 carat hard shape. We can have also a round of about 25 to 28 carats, and an emerald cut of about 20 carats. Do you agree with that, Lawrence?
And the long and hazardous journey could finally begin.
From that piece of rock, our artisans went to work. We planned, we thought about it very, very carefully. We opened a little window and looked inside. And then through our computers, we planned and plotted different shapes and different ideas. And over a period of approaching 5 months, we eventually made up our mind which way to go. And I thought, well, if there's going to be a miracle in this industry, this is going to be the miracle. We're going to get these stones out of it.
A whole range of high-tech instruments and computer algorithms were used in order to project and optimize the polished outcome.
The process of scanning the stone is crucial and very long. First opening windows, scanning, analyzing, is everything accurately measured, and eventually the laser sawing, splitting the main stone in different pieces.
The modern technology of the laser has penetrated the ancient art of diamond cutting. This technology enables optimal yield. 26 pieces were laser sawed out of the Lesotho Promise, now ready to be polished.
I've been in the polishing business for many years now, and since the beginning I was very aware that a diamond, in spite of its shape and weight, has to be perfectly polished. And with this particular stone, it was obvious that I wanted to give even more of myself in order to optimize the outcome. And I hope that we will succeed.
The 26 sword pieces are now in the hands of the highly skilled polishers, and during the long manufacturing process, it's business as usual.
We went to Botswana and we presented an idea to the government that we would like to put up a diamond technological park. We designed out the land and the infrastructure to have a series of factories and all the infrastructure that the jewelry or diamond business needed.
The strategy of vertical integration has been to control every angle of the diamond pipeline. Being a De Beers site holder gives access to some of the finest uncut diamonds. Navigating through the individual constraints of the rough pieces, establishing the basic symmetries of the diamonds, every angle is calculated in order to achieve quality. The House of Graff is synonymous with the most fabulous jewels in the world. Lawrence Graff has set an unsurpassed standard of excellence and innovation in the world of diamonds and fine jewelry. and it has been said that more important gem quality diamonds have passed through his hands than any other dealer. Graff diamond jewelry is exceptional. The quality, the style, and workmanship are unparalleled.
Emergency response.
The diamond being such an expensive, such a valuable, such a wonderful piece of material, that if you can improve it by cutting it in the right way, getting your proportions right, getting the life to come through these stones, to really live and speak to you, you've done a wonderful job. Of course, I've been following stone by stone on its travels from the rough to the polish.
Today, Graff is one of the largest producers in South Africa, with one of the largest polishing and cutting factories based in Johannesburg, employing over 200 craftsmen. From the thousands of carats of diamonds being polished, only the best diamonds go into Graff retail stores around the world. From the mine to the ladies wearing the jewels.
How beautiful, how sexy, how sensual.
After a few months of a long and fascinating manufacturing process, the final facets are polished. The brilliance of each stone looks exceptional. The moment of truth. 26 stones weighing a total of 223 carats from the Lesotho Promise have been graded by the Gemological Institute of America, the GIA. Johnny has just received the certificates and the final results.
Alors Jen, t'es content? T'es vraiment content du résultat?
I think that there is no other reaction of being satisfied, very happy with the results. It's the top. We couldn't achieve better.
So 76 carat D flawless pearl shape.
XX.
Excellent, excellent. Perfect. No graining, nothing. No.
Le cœur, 43 carat 12.
The heart shape, 43 carat 12.
D internally flawless.
It's
XX.
D internally flawless. Excellent, excellent. I think we can be very happy with these results, Lawrence. So Mazal. Yeah. Okay, we'll be in touch later.
What's happening? Are you gonna? Have you got this box and the certificates?
It was made in 1800, precisely.
And what is it? Where did we get this from? Is that proper antique box?
It's from an antique dealer.
Voilà.
Ah mais ils sont pas dans les trucs.
You like it?
Yeah. I prefer the diamonds.
It's unprecedented to produce 26 stones out of a piece of rough and get them all D-color and 99% flawless. It's unprecedented. It's never happened in history before. That in itself is unique. Each stone is a treasure. From the smallest to the largest, the material is exceptional. It really is the best I've ever seen. The whole question now is, are we going to make 26 women happy? When you finally get the collection together, and we've made this beautiful box, this was made at our Antwerp headquarters, and you see this array of diamonds, and you see the beauty and the life and the shapes. It's so exciting. The largest stone is 76.41 carats. Every stone has been laser inscribed with our brand name Graf, of course, and the number of each stone. We've numbered each stone from the largest down. So the first one will say Graf LP01. L for Lesotho, P for Promise, it's Lesotho Promise, 01, the first stone. And it's D color, it's flawless, the polish is excellent, the symmetry is excellent. It's the finest purity you can have in a diamond. And I have to tell you that whether it's the largest stone or the smaller stone, the workmanship is unparalleled. Absolutely the same. Top diamond cutting. Wonderful proportions and a tremendous amount of life. Each stone is a ball of fire. That's the Graf cut.
As we were finishing this movie, we heard about the recovery from the Letseng mine in Lesotho of the world's 18th largest diamond, weighing 493 carat, named the Letseng Legacy. The stone has been purchased by Graf. Graf's production company, Saftico, will be responsible for cutting the stone in Antwerp.
When you look at these stones, can you believe they were inside this piece of rock? Do you know how hard diamonds are? It's the hardest substance in the world.